Hey guys, so you're just taking some notes today and then you're going to have some follow-up questions, okay? So this was on your last page, what we didn't get to finish last class. So this was the beliefs of Protestantism. Like we started to do it and then the bell rang. I don't know if we were all paying attention. All right, so just to quickly go over it again, the basic beliefs of Protestants, and Lutheranism is our first sect of Protestantism, is this idea of the priesthood of all believers, that people don't need a priest. They don't need that rigid Catholic hierarchy. Um, and really that the Bible is the main authority. So like you should foster a personal relationship with God. And that's really going to come from the fact that you read the Bible. And that's that need and success of the printing press is the ability to get the Bible in more people's hands. And this really undermined the church, as in the Roman Catholic Church's authority. Also, we said salvation by faith alone. So you don't really need the church at all, and you don't need a ton of sacraments. You don't need all of those rituals that you do, that the Catholic Church required you to do. And really, Protestantism says you only really need 2 sacraments, not all 7 sacraments that the Catholic Church had. So remember, sacraments are those rituals that one does. So baptism and communion are the 2 main sacraments or rituals that Protestants believe in. So no required pilgrimages or fasts or masses, saints, monks, or celibacy. But Protestants, because we have so many branches of Protestantism, I mean, one of the main things that Protestants don't agree on is the Eucharist, the communion, that idea of when you take the blood and the wine at a service, is that how does that turn in or represent the blood and body of Christ? Okay. So this is what we did not get to, the responses to Lutheranism. Okay. What are our responses to Lutheranism? Well, first off, princes rather liked it. All right. There was this, what we call German particularism or liberties. All right. So because the Holy Roman Empire is full of German principalities, and the princes there actually had a lot more power. All right, for being an empire, the Holy Roman Empire is actually pretty decentralized, just because the Holy Roman Emperor does not have a lot of real formal power. He still needs to get permission from the princes to use some of their armies. So it's actually still kind of pretty steeped in feudalism. So German princes like converting to Lutheranism because now they're allowed to take a lot of church property. All right, so a lot of German princes are going to convert for this reason, and that's going to give us issue when we get into our 30 Years' War. On top of that, masses, not as in like church masses, I'm talking about the masses of the people, the general population. Lutheranism gives them a sense of standing up to authority. The peasants revolt in 1524 to 1525, saying that because they're thinking this personal relationship with God, we don't need the church. Who's to say we need to listen to all of this authority of our rulers? But Luther sides with the princes because remember, Luther is hiding out with Friedrich of Saxony, one of these various regional princes or dukes. All right, so he is siding with the princes or the dukes of Germany because he's like, yo, I'm just talking about the Bible. I'm not talking about saying anything different about people's life or roles as peasants. You peasants need to stay in your place. And the peasants feel really betrayed by Luther. And so this too is going to inspire different sects of Lutheranism or sects of Protestantism. Okay. The clergy are going to respond to it to varying degrees. A lot of like the high-ranking Catholic Church members, of course, are going to stay loyal to the Catholic Church. But a lot of your lower but literate members of the Catholic clergy are going to flock to Lutheranism or Protestantism because they really prefer the basing of the scriptures, and they like the ability and the freedom to interpret the scriptures on their own. So those who prefer the scriptures are going to leave for the Protestant church because Protestantism really puts a big emphasis on studying the Bible yourself. A lot of educators, humanists, merchants tend to love Lutheranism too because it promotes a lot of freedom from the Catholic Church.